So finally, the results of CA final are out. For those of you who cleared the exams, very good, congratulations, but this is not the end. And for those of you who could not clear the exams, even for you this is not the end. We will be looking at what strategies you should adopt when you write the next exam, and what are the alternate courses you can look at, and whether you should take up a job despite not clearing CA final. The first thing which comes to your mind when you do not clear an exam is, should I quit? Now, when this question comes to your mind, you're thinking about your friends who have cleared, you're thinking about your family, you're thinking about your parents, you're also thinking about your career, or you're also thinking about your future career opportunities. Should you quit? If this was your second or third attempt and you could not clear the exams, you should change your strategy and work for the next attempt. Now, what do I mean when I say you should change your strategy? You should look at your approach. How were you preparing so far? Because if you continue to do the things which you are doing so far, you will get similar results even in the future. So sit back, look at your results, look at the certified papers, look at those areas where you have not been able to perform well, and then have a different strategy for your next examination. The first thing what I want you to do is go back and look at what is your strengths and what are your weaknesses. See, out of the 8 subjects, not all the subjects are difficult, or not all the subjects may be threatening to you. There would be some subjects which would be your favorites or which are easy subjects, and there would be other subjects which you may find it a bit difficult. Now, in the next 3.5 months after the results, before your next exam, you must put your focus around your weaknesses. You must get over your weaknesses. Say for example, you identify one of the subjects as your weaknesses. Let's say it's a costing subject. Now think about ways in which you can learn the subject better, or maybe you would require one more round of coaching, maybe you would require some fast track batch, maybe you would require some form of summary notes. You look at it and figure out on your own that what do you exactly need. Do you understand the concepts well, and is it that you are not able to write the exams well? In that case, you need lot of exam practice. Is it that you are not able to recollect the concepts at all, or you are finding difficulties in getting some concepts? There you need additional coaching or guidance. So depending on how you feel about the subject, you should take your next step. For those subjects which you are very comfortable with, you should keep them towards the end for revision, because you are anyways comfortable with the subjects, you know the concepts well, you are very much confident with those subjects. There is no point in spending more times in those subjects at the beginning of your preparation time. So the first 2 months after your results, you should completely focus on those subjects which are threatening and which you feel that those are your weaknesses. As you continue your preparation, if you are finding something to be very easy, or if you are finding something, okay, this I can understand very well, you can keep that aside. But whenever you come across something which is, which might be confusing, or whenever you come across something which you feel that this is a very, very difficult adjustment, mark those points separately. And just before your examination, make sure that you go through all those adjustments, because a single adjustment can cost you 2 to 3 marks, or at times it may even cost you 7 to 8 marks. So when you are preparing through, make note of all the difficult adjustments, make note of all those complicated adjustments, and make note of all those confusing things, because these are the key points which may determine 5 to 6 marks in your examination. The next thing what you should do is every Sunday take up a past examination question paper and solve it in the exam condition. I am not asking you to select one chapter and solve all its examination problem. No, I am asking you to select a real examination paper, a 100-mark paper, solve it in exam condition. The reason it is necessary to do it this way is, if you look at only questions from one particular chapter, you may feel that some are difficult, some are easy, and I can manage. In a 100-mark paper, you will always find that there is around 30 to 40 marks of question which you can easily attempt. You take any paper, except for 1 out of 100 question papers, you will definitely be able to attempt 30 to 40 marks. This is my guarantee. Once you get this comfort that 30 to 40% of the paper is easily attemptable, you will build up your confidence. The next thing to target is the next 30 to 40 marks, which is of a bit difficult category. So as you practice questions, after the result till the exams, you will get close to 14 Sundays. During these 14 Sundays, take one paper every Sunday, write the exams, write the answer, and compare your solution with what is given by the institute. Once you do this, 2 things will happen. You will get exam preparation, or you will get ready for the exam, and the second thing is you will get to know where you actually stand. Whether or not you have completed your syllabus, because your results are just out, means you have completed all your syllabus recently, you can easily take up those exams, or you can easily write those exams. The next thing what you should do is get your certified copies of all the papers and see how you have presented versus how the institute has given its suggested answer and how many marks you have scored for the kind of presentation you have done. Many times what happens is students might know the answer correctly, but somewhere they would have made some silly mistake and lost important marks. So it's very important to understand where did you lose mark or where did you lose those important crucial marks which could have actually taken you from a failure to a passing thing. As you start your preparation or revision after the results, you should make your own notes or you should make your summary notes, because once you write down something, it somehow gets impressed on your mind and you can recall it faster. As you prepare the notes, also make a note of all those confusing adjustments what we talked about, all those silly mistakes what you would have done. Maybe the question was very simple but you made a silly mistake. Make a note of all those errors what you have committed during your preparation. Make a summary note of all the points what you are going through, and in the last month before the exam, make sure that you revise this list completely, because once you make a second time revision, you will retain this longer. Also, there are certain chapters from where the questions are rarely asked in the exam, and even if they are asked from maybe some 4 mark or 8 mark or 10 mark. Now, you need to identify these kind of chapters where the effort required is very high, but the marks what you score is very less. Ignore such chapters till the time you are comfortable with the balance portion. Use a simple 80-20 rule, and those chapters which gives you higher marks and those chapters which has higher weightage in the examination, go through those chapters first. And those chapters which are bulky, has a lot of theory and technical jargon, and you get very less questions in the examination, you can keep those chapters towards the end. First focus on the key important chapters which covers around 80 marks in your examination. And believe me, if you attempt 80 marks reasonably good in the examination, the chances of your passing are very high. Now you may ask that, after writing the exam for second time or third time, will I get a good job? Will I be successful in my practice? Will I be able to do a good business? My answer to this is, if you get a rank or if you pass the exam in first attempt, you will have a higher stepping stone. Maybe instead of starting at level 0, you would be starting at level 3. But if you clear the examination at second attempt or at the third attempt, you may have to start at level 1. That is the only difference which will happen at the start of your career. After you work for some time and after you get some experience, no one will ask you how many attempts you took to pass your exam. What they will look at is, what is your knowledge level, what is your personality, how good are you at communication. These are the things that will matter after you get certain experience. The thing which is very certain is, the starting point will be different for someone who has passed in the first attempt and for someone who has passed after second or third attempt. It's like a snake and ladder game. Someone gets a ladder early up, maybe at number 5 or number 6, they get a big ladder and they can jump higher. But someone else may have to take step by step to reach the ultimate destination. So don't be demotivated thinking that I took 3 attempts to clear the exam. What will matter is your starting point. So starting point, definitely first timers and rank holders will have certain lead, but you have the time and opportunity to catch up with them. Some of my friends who have not even cleared CA final, who have just qualified CA inter, they are working in good corporation at a respectable position, drawing a good salary. I also have attended interviews where rank holders were not able to speak and could not even go through the first round. So the ranks and the number of attempts do matter for your first step, but in the longer run, what matters is how good is your knowledge, how good are you at communication, how is your personality, how can you take decisions, how good you are as a leader. So these are the things which will matter in the longer run. If you have already consumed 5 or 6 attempts, my humble suggestion is, sit back, think of alternate options. Friends, I am not asking you to quit CA. That is not what I am suggesting. What I am asking you instead is, look at alternate options. Maybe you can start up a job based on your CA inter qualification, or you can look at alternate courses like CMA from US, CPA from US, CFA, MBA Finance. These are multiple courses which are available for finance professionals, and you can definitely choose one of them depending on the time available and your budget. So take one of these decisions. So either take up a job or choose an alternate course and start preparation. What will happen is, after you take up a job or after you successfully complete one of those courses, your confidence will increase. Once your confidence increases, cracking CA might be a bit easier. And also, if you get some experience from the industry in the finance domain, that will definitely help you to write the CA examinations. But at no point I am asking you to quit. You may give a short break, but do look at alternate options. Do not think that I'll keep on writing exams forever and one fine day I'll pass and I'll take up a job or I'll start my practice. You can definitely do that. But you should also look at your family and your career. And you may also see stories floating around that, okay, someone has got a first rank after 6th or 7th attempt, someone has passed after 10th attempt, 12th attempt. Definitely, yes, they have passed, they have changed the strategies, they have cleared the exams, but there is also selection bias in that. We are not looking at the larger chunk of people who are still writing attempts after attempts, delaying their career decisions. You should not delay your career choices because it will not be good for you in the longer run. So how will taking up a job build your confidence? When you take up a job, you will do multiple things. You will also apply a lot of concepts which you have already studied. Gradually, when you are successful in your job, this will build your confidence. And the other courses what I talked about, a lot of syllabus of those courses you would have already covered when you did your CA Inter and CA Final. So for example, if you look at CMA, a large part of the CMA course you would have already studied in CA Inter. Similarly, CPA has a lot of things which are aligned with CA. When you do MBA Finance also, about 50 to 60% of what you studied in CA will be relevant for that. So these are not some strange courses. These are not some alien courses. These are the courses which you can closely relate to. That is the reason why I suggested these courses or a job which can gradually build your confidence and you can come back and write your CA final exams.